It was more than just puppy love.
We both felt like what we had was very real, and it was very, very much worth fighting for.
Amina Said and Joseph Moreno were like Romeo and Juliet.
And to her, it was worth dying for.
And Amina would die for it, along with younger sister Sarah, when their father, Yaser, allegedly shot them both dead in a taxi after learning about Amina's romance with boyfriend Joseph.
It was hard, to say the least.
Joseph and Amina had fallen in love at first sight when they were both young teenagers in the same martial arts class. They're seen here in a home video uncovered during the making of the documentary, The Price of Honor.
She walked in and I was like, oh man, who is that girl? And I was immediately attracted to her.
Amina felt the same attraction.
I would describe it as your stereotypical young teenage love. They were together almost every day of the week.
It didn't take much time for us to start a relationship, a serious relationship. It went from, hey, I like you, to I love you.
The young lovers would be bound at the heart for 4 years.
We were really in love with each other.
Joseph's mother, Ruth Trotter, fully approved of Amina.
First of all, she was strikingly beautiful. She had these amazing, beautiful green eyes and a smile. I mean, to know her was just to fall in love with her.
We used to write like little love notes to each other pretty much every day. When we would come to class, we would just trade notes with each other, you know. During the day at school or whatever, we would just write whatever we thought, and it became like a daily thing.
Joseph and Amina were also best friends.
She was the kind of person I could have had the worst day at school, maybe arguing with my mom or something, and within a minute of being around her, nothing else mattered. She just had a very strong presence about her. She was just one of a kind.
But Amina and Joseph had to keep their romance secret from her father, Yaser, who had forbidden both his daughters from having American boyfriends.
And she started telling me, just little by little, that it was more than just him being protective, it was more him being controlling and abusive.
Joseph felt her pain.
I wanted to get her away from that so bad. She was such a good person. She didn't deserve to live like that.
The two could never be seen together.
We had to pick her up in the parking lot of the Taekwondo studio because we couldn't come to her house because her dad was there.
Joseph's mother says he and Amina had to be very careful.
Early on, she started kind of giving instruction to my son. You're going to be in my phone under a different name.
And didn't they have codes for things?
Yes, they did. Amina and Joseph had their own language.
And Amina had a separate phone her father didn't know about.
That was for her safe place to be able to contact my son.
She was always afraid of her dad finding the phone, finding my number.
Ruth says Amina even sent her a picture of her family members, warning her they might be dangerous.
She said, if you ever see any of these people around your house or around you or Joseph, you need to be very scared and you need to try to get to the police.
At the same time, Amina and Joseph were talking about eloping.
I wanted her to be my wife. I wanted her to be my queen. And we were going to make it happen one way or another. We were going to go to Vegas and just have a trip, and we were going to get married.
But that's when Yaser discovered one of their love letters and realized she had a boyfriend.
She told me that he had found one that she was writing to me and was asking her, you know, who is this for? Like, you know, what the hell is this?
He went ballistic. He was beating Amina on her mouth, like non-stop. She was bleeding. It was horrible. Yaser pretty much was forcing Amina to tell her where Joseph was.
But Amina refused to betray her boyfriend.
Amina wouldn't say anything. So, you know, he kept hitting her because of that. Amina knew if she told him about Joseph, he would probably go and kill Joseph.
Yaser was determined Amina would never see Joseph again, and within days, he had relocated his whole family from their home in Bedford, Texas, to the town of Louisville, 20 miles away.
she was just gone. And I had no idea like what happened. She literally just, I went from talking to her hours a day, every day, to just nothing. She was just gone.
Next, her father's fury sends Amina, her sister, and their mother all running for their lives.
He had pulled a gun on him, and he was going to kill them.